The Schaff Trend Cycle (STS) is the forward-looking landing indicator that generates faster, more accurate signals than other indicators, much as the MACD, because it considers both time through cycles and moving average. The Schaff Trend Cycle (STS) is commonly used to identify market trends and provide buy and sell signals to traders. Schaff Trend Cycles is the type of the oscillator and based on the experiment that regardless of the time frame, trends accelerate and decelerate in the cycle patterns. Many traders are familiar with the MACD trading tools, which is an indicator that is used to forecast price actions and notorious for lagging due to its slow responsive signals lines. By contrast, the STS signals lines enables it to declare trends sooner. In fact, each typically identifies as the markdown trends long before the MACD indicator, while the Schaff Trend Cycle is computed using the same exponential moving average as MACD. It adds to the novel cycle component to improve accuracy to reliability, while the MACD is simply computed using a series of the moving average. The cycle aspect of STS is based on the time, for example, number of the days. Although STS was developed primarily for the currency market, it may be effectively employed across all markets. It can be applied to intraday charts such as the 5 minutes or 1 hour charts, as well as the daily, weekly, or monthly time frame. What makes the indicator interesting is that it's a combination of the MACD and fast stochastic with the cycle component, and the smoother to the capture market price more comprehensively. It's basically a combination of the leading and the lagging indicators. So let's discuss the main problem of the MACD and stochastic. The MACD follows price with its 12 to 26 period exponential moving average components and 90 emanates signals line. Its capacity, it is the trend indicators, yet it is lagging because it doesn't always lead price and it's provide false signals, especially in the fast moving markets. So you have to adjust the settings to satisfy your price and the market objective. The stochastic is also lagging. The problem with the stochastic is the ability to generate false signals while the market can take off, break before signals and generate. Part of the problem with the stochastic oscillator is the concentration of the 3 days simple moving average as the signal line. False signals and the slow reactions were just the beginning of the problems, especially for the short term and the daily traders, because their 3 day simple moving average is too short a term to represent fast market and and act as the true trigger line. The Schaff Trend Cycle (STS) indicators tries to fix these problems by incorporating a shorter term EMA sets with the dreadful at 23, with the longer term EMA with the dreadful at 50. This remedies the MACD and fast stochastic false signals. These combinations can be employed to the capture trends, but it doesn't incorporate entire and the exit fully. To fix this, a signal was needed. The MACD 9-day exponential signal lives was not always effective, while the fast stochastic percentage signal line was also a failure. You need to a true signal that would capture the true trend. This came from the cycle theory. The theory never fully incorporated into the indicator. This signals line is derived from the theoretic to the practice of the 10, 20, and the 40 days currency cycles. The halfway point between the 23 and the 50 EMAs is in cycle theory 10, so the cycle dreadful is as the standard 10, but this cycle is also be viewed as the halfway point of the 20-day cycle as well. This is the signal line that denotes trends, range, or the conjunctions. The developer of the indicators considered that the currency cycles generally come into 10, 20, and the 40-day currencies. These are the measured by the daily and the weekly candlesticks. In addition, you must know that not all high are the cycle's heights, and not all lows are cycle's lows. One of the problems of the STS indicators is that the signals lines can get stuck in overbought or oversold territories for extended period. This is because the cycles haven't completed their time. But we will discuss these problems later. So how does it work? The main idea behind this oscillator is to combine the benefits of the trend and the cycle indicators and minimize their drawbacks, such as the lags or the false signals. The main goal of STS is to identify the confirmed price, directions, and market's turning points. Here is how to understand its readings. There are three shots, 25 and 75. When the indicators cross both the 25 live and uptrend is observed. When the indicators cross over below the 75 line and the downtrend is believed to be present. When the indicator is between the 25 and the 75 line, the trend is developing in one of those two directions. When the indicator turns into the straight line, which only happens in this uppermost and lowermost points, the asset is easier overbought when they're above 75 lines or observed when it's below 25 lines. In both cases, a trend reversal can be expected, but not exact time frame line is provided. How to apply the STS indicators into trading? The staff trend style STS and the pretty straightforward indicators, as there are not so many ways which can it be used. And remember, though originally designed for Forex trading, it can be effectively applied to all aspects, type, and on all time frames. Here's how the traders usually use Schaff Trend Cycles. When the indicators goes above the 25 lines, they try to believe it that taking the position's turn, according to the indicator. It is when traders consider opening their buy positions, but only if he confirms is received. For example, the candle after the current and that move to the same directions can consider the confirmations. A reading of those indicators that go into line with the STS can also be traded as the confirmations. The same we can compare to the negative trends. When the indicators goes below the 75, some traders consider opening to the sell positions, of course, with confirmations. STRs is leading indicators, which means that it spans the signals before the price moves has occurred. It has means that it's lack of the accuracy of the lagging indicators and should be used to the conjunctions with the other technical analysis tools, never on its own. So buy and sell signals are generated when the signals is breach 25 at the bottom and 75 on the top. When the signals is breach 25 or is hidden up, this is a possible buy or the long positions. When the signal is line breach 75 is the pointing down is the potential short opening positions. Is when the short trade hits the bottom and breached the 25 level, and when the long trade hits the top to the breaches 75 level. But if the signals lines is pointing the right directions, you may choose to stay into the trade, since the currencies can easily trend to the high 990 levels at the top to the near zero at the bottom. It is a good idea to find the confirmations through the candles before the long positions. Make sure you have the upwards candles and the downtrends candles for the shorts. Schaff, the developer of the indicators, recommend the confirmation by the entering on the second candle up for the long and the second candle down for the short. Simple price actions like the paying attention to the market swings like the higher highs and the higher lows are even better. Looking at this Tesla chart, we can first apply to the trend filter, in this case the uptrend, and look to take only buy signals when the indicators breach 75. We had some detected signals just by paying attention on the main trend. The same for the downtrend. We have lower lows and the lower highs, so the take on the short of the STS crossover below 75. Here's the few trade examples using the Schaff Trend Cycle indicators. Settings can be adjusted according to the various time frames. For example, Schaff recommended you to the smarter EMAs or for longer time frames, and the longer EMAs for the shorter time frames. The smaller the number used for the cycles, the more turns you will witness, while the higher numbers will forecast fewer turns with more cycle accuracy. That's you want from the adjustments is for the signal aligned to perfectly follow price and candles. While I find these indicators to be reliable, the signals is called corrector here is one problem. The signals can stay in overbought or oversold condition for the extended period, so you may need to have the alternative exit plan, maybe trading stop or the feedback target, to get the most profit to your trade. If you found value to learn something new, leave us a like to show your support, and make sure you subscribe to hit the bell icon to stay notified when we upload new video. Until next time.